Hi. In this video on retirement and on loneliness, I'd like to talk about something that's probably already occurred to you, but maybe you haven't really grasped its significance. And this is the way we human beings have changed over the last 50 or 60 years or so. Now, I can talk about this because I precede the baby boomers boom from 1946 to 1961 by a decade. I was born in 1936. Now, as we know from our study of history and ancient history, it was pretty normal for families, tribes, certainly groups of humans, ranging from tiny tots right through to older people, to sit around a campfire, perhaps outside a cave, and tell stories and yarn and talk about what has happened in the past and what's about to happen and plan and do that sort of thing. And they had what might call eye contact. They would look at one another and they would connect. That feeling of connection evolved with us as we evolved as human beings, and probably went on for maybe a couple of 100,000 years. The shift was very gradual. When I was born in 1936, people didn't sit around fires at campfires, but they did sit around their home fires in their lounge rooms, poking away at the coals and listening to the radio. The radio had now become the thing. But the listeners of the radio would still look at one another, talk occasionally, and there was still some connection there. Maybe not so many stories. They were listening to the radio. And then along came television. And suddenly television became the family's campfire. Now they would look at the television. But not only would they look at the television, they would even eat their meals often in front of the television, not talking to one another at all, looking at the TV show. And you think to yourself, well, what could happen worse than that? The family are losing connection. Some people are watching television in another room because they don't like that program. The separation, the connection, was already beginning. And in a way, this is the beginning of a loneliness. I'm interested in my things, you're interested in yours, I have no interest in yours. And then, to add something even worse, along came the smartphone. And now you see people, when you think about it, it's almost unbelievable if you were to turn the clock back 100 years. To see friends sitting around, so-called friends, who are supposed to be talking to one another, making eye contact, connecting, talking about things that are important to them, revealing their innermost thoughts and feelings, making real, deep friendships. No, not anymore. They're on their smartphones, looking up what other people are doing, following celebrities, playing games. And you wonder why we're lonely? What's happened here? What's happened to the sitting around, the jocularity, the repartee, the jokes among people, the friendship, the camaraderie, the natural enthusiasms, the energies combined as everyone who laughs and shares a joke. Where's all this gone? You can't blame it on the smartphones. You can only blame it on our use, how we become addicted to watching what's on the smartphone. It's become even more important to us than our friends, sometimes even our own family. On goes the smartphone in the morning, got to check up on something. We're losing something incredibly important to us now. Loneliness is sweeping the world. It's said that about 40% of adults feel loneliness a lot of the time. And with the young ones, it's even worse. What can I say to you? It takes discipline. It takes real effort. It takes real determination to decide, right, what am I going to do to get over this loneliness? Pick up my smartphone again? Lose myself? Or am I going to take some real action here? Maybe join a group. Maybe start taking on some responsibility. Join something. Join a group so I can once again sit around and chat and make real friendships. And that's the only way you'll do it. Sit around talking, maybe having a coffee, something to eat, eye contact, listening to what other people say to them, to say to you, and you say to them, putting real importance back on the other person rather than what is being said to you in printed matter out of a screen or somebody talking like I am to you now. My talking to you now is just to get that message across. Loneliness will continue in your life until you really start to make real contact from the heart to other people.